State regime media, which calls itself Fox News, is losing all control on air as Donald Trump continues with his historic crash before the midterm. So how is state regime media trying to program its propaganda as Donald Trump has utterly destroyed the United States economy with his trade war against the world and with his catastrophic and unlawful never-ending war in Iran as he pretends that he controls the Strait of Hormuz? Let me show you what state regime media is doing. You have Kellyanne Conway speaking with one of the guests, and they're like, J.D. Vance, he's a good hang. He knows how to hang with young people. It's very authentic. And Donald Trump, he's what the young kids call whimsy maxing, the way he loves grass and the way he talks about grass all the time. It's whimsy maxing. What are you talking about? Play this clip.
Vance especially has a lot of currency with young voters because he just seems like a good hang. Trump, I guess he could moonlight as a landscape designer. I mean, the man really loves grass. Who can blame him? I mean, gardening, it's lovely. And that's what Gen Z likes to call whimsy maxing. He just has a lot of whimsy, He's really interested in the life of grass.
And he's an amazingly successful builder of decades, so he knows a thing or two. I think we've had other presidents, Caroline, who liked a different kind of grass, so it's good to have this one talking about the life cycle of green grass.
Then state regime media brings on Benny Johnson, the right-wing propagandist, as a guest on a propaganda network. Makes sense. And Benny Johnson's like, and everybody knows that Donald Trump looks at Iran and says, Hormuz your daddy. Hormuz your daddy. The hell are you talking about? Hormuz your daddy? What? Here, play this clip.
It really is too bad for them to say that they're upset about Iran and they're upset about radical Islamic jihad. Have a look at your own party. I think what they're upset about is that Donald Trump's actually doing pretty damn well in this war right now. Donald Trump is looking right now at Iran and saying, Hormuz, your daddy. Who's your daddy? Whoever.
Back to Kellyanne Conway and Downey here for a moment. They're like, this is real authentic stuff. Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, they go into bars, they hang out. You know who couldn't do this? Kamala Harris. Yeah, Kamala doesn't know how to hang. She's not authentic. But J.D. Vance and Donald Trump are like the most authentic people. Right, everybody? Right? This is what they're doing on state regime media right now. Here, play this clip.
You could head to Ohio and grab a beer with the vice president. Earlier today, J.D. Vance got behind the counter of a Cincinnati bar and personally served drinks and the city's world-famous chili dogs. Caroline, this is not contrived. No teleprompters, no people pushing index cards in Trump and Vance's faces saying, say this, be this. Here's some facts on grass. Here's some facts on chili dogs. This is just who they are. I can't see Kamala doing this.
No, she doesn't have an authentic bone in her body, Kellyanne. I mean, look, these are objectively humanizing, endearing moments that Trump and Vance do not have to fake.
Then they bring on Monica Crowley, who for some reason is a United States Chief Protocol Ambassador, and she holds the title Ambassador. And Monica Crowley's like, and she's speaking with Jesse Waters, and they're like, and these Democrats want Medicare for all? They want health care for all Americans for free? No! We need to put $1.5 trillion into a military budget so that the United States could work with Netanyahu and engage in more war crimes versus helping the United States people in the United States. Everybody knows America first means never-ending wars abroad with Netanyahu, right? And Monica Crowley, I kid you not, Monica Crowley's like, and you know how Medicare for all even started? There were two communists in the 1960s who started talking about this stuff. And then it started to spread and spread and spread amongst more communists right now. This is what they're saying on state regime media. Here, play this clip.
The country.
So you have Abdul in Michigan and Angie in Florida, two commies running for statewide office. Angie wants reparations. That's about what, 30 trillion. Abdul wants Medicare for all. That's another 20 trillion. I mean, is that the point? Is it to blow up the country with debt?
Well, that's part of the assault that's been going on for a very long time. There were two communists out of Columbia University, I guess in the 1960s, who wrote this whole theory that said in order to destroy the United States, you have to overwhelm all of her systems.
And then Monica Crowley and Jesse Waters continue. And Monica Crowley's like, and this rolling Marxist revolution that began with the two communists in 1960s, it's metastasizing and it is spreading. And before you know it, what else are they going to want? More Medicare, more health care for free? That is why we are so blessed right now to have Donald J. Trump, because he recognizes that these communists who want to give Americans health care for all, that started with these two Colombians, two Columbia University students in 1960. That's what did it. That's who did it. Here, play this clip.
Well, I'll tell you, Jesse, for years, I've been warning the American people that the United States has been subjected to a rolling Marxist revolution for well over a century. This stuff didn't just materialize under President Obama or President Biden. This stuff has been going on for decades and decades. We are now in their end game to collapse the country, to overwhelm all of our systems and destroy the country from within. They've been at this for a very long time. And because now we're in the end game, that's why all of these communists feel extremely aggressive. They're more and more visible and incredibly brazen, because they see that the time is here for a tipping point for the country. They're not going to waste it. Thank God we have a president in the White House right behind me who understands the nature of this threat. President Donald J. Trump has been talking about the communist threat for decades.
And then Monica Crowley posts the following: took an Indy car out for a 180-mile-per-hour spin. What's even going? What are you doing? Can you all just focus on like what government's supposed to be? We don't want this dystopian reality TV show thing that we're non-consensual extras, and we just want to be able to like live normal lives. What are you all doing? And then they go and they have Brian Kilmeade on. He's the neocon warhawk of the bunch. Well, they all are. And he's like, Donald, I'm speaking to you, bud. I'm speaking to you, man. You have the chance for a historic victory. We just need to go back and do more war with Iran right now. Donald, listen, here, play this clip.
If they manage to, the people rise up, and if this thing goes our direction, no one's factoring it just a win in Iran. You could turn Iran's stalemate into a victory for the only president to ever take them on. That would be momentum that nobody could foresee for the midterms.
Yeah, that would be incredible. So there's news out of Seattle.
Then they bring on Indiana Senator Jim Banks, while state regime media in Indiana Senator Jim Banks ignore the fact that there was a horrific storm in Indiana and there were still thousands of people without power, at least 7 dead in Indiana. But what they want to talk about is, Donald J. Trump's legacy is going to be that he was the peacemaker in the Middle East, that Donald Trump brought peace to the Middle East. And that is it. What world honestly, who the hell are these humans? What world are you living in? Do you not exist in reality? I mean, for real, what the hell are you even talking about? Trump engaged in a catastrophic war in Iran with Netanyahu. There's wars everywhere going on right now. We're essentially in World War III, though nobody wants to call it that for obvious reasons, but there's wars everywhere right now. But sure, that's his legacy, Senator Jim Banks. I mean, the thing about these idiots also and these fascists is that once they're proven to be totally wrong, they don't care. They just live in an alternate reality. Here, play this clip.
Until you come to the table, clear the straight, and ensure us that you will never have a nuclear weapon. And President Trump's legacy is going to be that he was the president that brought peace to the Middle East and to the whole wide world by preventing Iran from ever having a nuclear weapon. We can all be grateful and proud of that.
Now,
before continuing, one quick PSA for the Meidas Mighty when it comes to Medicare. Most Medicare agents push Medicare Advantage plans even when they're not right for you because they make more money doing it. That's why we strongly recommend you do what thousands in our audience have already done. Speak with Chapter, please. They don't just share the amazing benefits of Medicare Advantage. They explain the pros and cons of all your Medicare options. Original Medicare, Medicare Supplement, Medicare Advantage, and Part D. Chapter supports you in comparing every plan against your specific healthcare needs because they want to ensure you have the best coverage for you. One Chapter member, Jill, said her advisor presented options she didn't even see on the Medicare.gov website. And in many cases, Chapter saves people over $1,100 a year by getting them on the right plan. So if you're on Medicare or will be soon, dial 82 Medicare and get honest advice from Chapter. That's 82 Medicare. It's free and quick. They can review your options in under 20 minutes. If you're on the right plan already, they'll tell you. If you're not, they can help you save thousands the way they have with thousands of members of the Meidas Mighty. And then they fearmonger more and more and more. So then you have Earhart. So this is Sean Hannity's wife or fiance. I think maybe they got married now, wife. And so she's now a host on Fox, or she was a host on Fox before. And also what they wanted to talk about on Fox is how good looking the Democrats are, but don't be fooled by their looks. And so Earhart, Hannity's wife, is like, El Sayed, he wears this tight shirts and you can see his muscles bulging from his tight shirts. And then you have AOC with the pretty smile and how attractive she is. She's beautiful. She has the red lipstick. Then you have Mamdani. Mamdani's like a model. He's so attractive. This is what they keep on saying. She goes, but they're dangerous. Don't be fooled by how attractive they are. How is this real life? How is what I'm watching real life? Play this clip.
Well, El Sayed, he's out in these tight T-shirts. You have AOC with her pretty smile. She's beautiful. She's got the red lipstick. You have, who else? You have Mamdani, always smiling, always seemingly positive, but it doesn't make their philosophy any less dangerous, right? You can put lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig. You can put them all over TikTok. You can put them all over Instagram and all over Facebook, whatever their platforms are, but socialism always fails. Even with lipstick on, even with a tight T-shirt, it's socialism and it fails. And they want to take everybody's money and make everyone equal. And in every country where they have tried to do this, it has failed and the countries have gone downhill. And this is coming to America. I had never listened to Hassan Piker until this week, and I logged on and I listened to one of his shows, and he's like, everyone's so upset that Francesca Hong lost. Oh no, she got very close to winning. We should all be celebrating because we're getting closer and closer and closer. And that's what they're doing. Republicans need to take a page out of their book and go younger and do what they're doing. Get all over TikTok, get all over social media, because these young people believe when you tell them we're going to pay for everything in your life, they think, oh, that's wonderful. We can do that. They're not educated enough to know that socialism doesn't work. We run out of money.
Absolutely well said.
But it doesn't stop there. Then they have someone else go, yeah, just because you want to hook up with them, just because you want to make out with them, and when you look at them, you want to like date them, you still shouldn't listen to their politics just because you're so attracted to them and you can't. What? Here, play this clip.
But all joking aside, look, in a generation, we have gone from which politician do you want to have a beer with to which politician do you want to hook up with. This just shows the vacuousness of social media culture, and the Democrats using it shows the vacuousness of their policies. There's no meat behind them. It's all about looks. It's all about, the shiny facade. And then when you dig deeper into these policies, free is not free, free is tough. So I think there's a deeper meaning.
Socialism notwithstanding, I'm told Mamdani is really good looking in person, Emily.
And then they keep on going. And then the next person, Kayleigh McEnany's like, yeah, socialism notwithstanding, I'm told Mamdani is really handsome in person, really attractive. Here, play this clip.
Dig deeper into these policies, free is not free, free is tough. So I think there's a deeper meaning.
Socialism notwithstanding, I'm told Mamdani is really good looking in person, Emily.
Okay, what the hell was that? And then you have this guy, Corbett Dillon, who's like a far right-wing worked in far right-wing politics in the UK. And he's on the Laura Ingraham show. And then he's like, I'm scared. I'm deeply scared. I don't know. I abandoned the UK for the United States because of socialism. What will I do now? And where will I go, Laura? Where will I go? It's the stupidest program. Like, there are people who are watching this and are like, oh, yeah, where are you going to go? Here, play this clip.
Yeah, well, look, I live in Washington, D.C. I hear what people are saying here, and I understand. I know a lot of people are disappointed with the Republican Party. Even President Trump himself is pretty annoyed that they can't get the SAVE Act passed. He hasn't been able to deport as many people as he wants. But my concern is that, particularly the young men, if these young men check out, you might be looking at a Democrat takeover of the White House. And we say Democrat, what do we really mean? These are socialists. This is exactly what we're looking at. And that is what happened in Europe. The takeover is very quick, very rapid. And if you think the border was open under Biden, wait until these socialists get in. They will flood the country with these people. It's the only way they can get power. They need these people to rely on government handouts, to put them in the country. They'll do a mass amnesty. Everyone will be citizens. It's what we did in England. Every one of these people are becoming citizens. It's a real problem, and I'm scared. We're running out of places to go. Where am I going to move to next if America becomes socialist?
And then, to top it off, they bring in the biggest, it's hard to be the biggest loser of them all, but he's up there, Jameson Greer. I mean, could you imagine, like, you're Canada and you've got LeBlanc and you've got Carney and you've got a team of, like, the most experienced people, and then you've got this, like, dweeb Jameson Greer. Like, when I went to law school, there was always like a Jameson Greer. This guy, this is Jameson Greer. He was like, professor. And, Jameson Greer is the guy who would go to the library and then hide the textbooks before the final exam so that nobody else could say, that's the guy Jameson Greer is. And so now you have Jameson Greer trying to portray the U.S. as victims of Canadian aggression because Canada has retaliated against the United States for the U.S. trade war. It's like, they retaliated against me? And why would they retaliate against me? This is what he says here. Play this clip.
Big news. So what do you expect to happen from here? Do you think trade talks will get back on track, or will there be a pause here for a while?
It's hard to say. We don't have new talks planned with the Canadians. We're moving forward with measures that respond to Canadian retaliation. Remember, as President Trump has introduced a trade policy to reshore American production, protect American jobs, two countries have retaliated against the United States, the People's Republic of China and Canada.
And Canada does a lot of business with China.
They do, and they continue to retaliate. And after a year of that retaliation, we've said enough, and so we've taken countermeasures. Our interest is in protecting American workers and protecting American supply chains. We've been offering to bring the Canadians along on that path, really to cut the tariffs on them, on steel, on tariff autos, even lumber, things that are sensitive for them. And they've always had the best deal, and they still would have an even better deal, but they didn't want that.
All right.
There you had it. I told you they're losing control. I told you how outrageous it is. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers. Thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate you.
Breaking news right now, my brothers and I wrote a book. It's called WTF America. And well, doesn't that just say it all? It comes out officially this October, but you can pre-order your copy today. Just scan the QR code or click the link in the description below.